Okay, here I am again, guys. I'm back on the Quiet Storm. What I was saying earlier, it says that once you become married, a man and woman become one flesh. Where I got that from, Genesis 2 and 24. Once a man leaves his parents, he is united with his wife, and the two become one flesh. It says that in Genesis 2 and 24. The reason why that is when you become a mother and a father, when you have a mother and a father, you grow up, they raise you up to the next level in life, the next stage, so to speak. As they raise you, a mother and a father, a man and a woman raise you. That means they raise you up to be in the way that a child should go. Now, when they raise that child and that child grows up, that child will have children, and children will have children with that child, because that child will have grandchildren, because that's the child you had raised from when they were born. That's why I say a parent is a job. It's a 24/7 job. Now, a lot of single people, when they become first time parent, when you become a first time parent, it's a bigger responsibility than you ever imagined. Now, what I meant by a man and a woman becoming one flesh, what that's saying is that a man cleans, I guess, belongs to his wife, the bride that he finds, or the woman he finds. Once he finds that woman, he becomes, he he belongs to her, and he belongs to her as a man should belong to a wife. Now, it is very hard for some people to imagine being a parent. Now, being a parent is a great feeling. I've the experiences I've had of being a parent. Let me tell you about being a first time parent. It's a wonderful feeling inside, because when the child is born, a girl or a boy, when they're born, you see, they come out of the womb of the mother. The mother carried this embryo inside her belly. She carried this seed inside her belly, and it grows and it grows and grows. Excuse me. As it's growing, as the child is growing, it grows for 9 months. And in that time, you get to name the child. You get to see what the child eats. You get to see what nutrition, facts you learn about the child. You get to see the shape of the child, the size of the child, the baby's eyes, the baby's nose, what the child's features look like. You get to witness all this for yourself. And there's nothing like spending time with a child that is more valuable than money, than giving out clothes. All that's valuable, you guys. Come on. Children are very, very important. They're a very important part of you and the other person that is with you. When you love someone, Christ says, love your neighbor as you would love yourself. You love someone. What that is saying, that you love them like they are a part of you. When you love someone, you love them. It's hard to love someone when you don't know how to love. If you don't know how to love, then that someone that's coming out of that womb will love you. It's a word for that, unconditional love. Unconditionally, it's a word called agape. Agape means unconditional love. Now, that's a hard thing. unconditionally. Like you have to give up your whole self just to love someone. That takes a real commitment. That takes a long time to do. To give up your things that you love the most just to be a part of something great is very hard to do for some people, because the greatest example of that, we already know the great example of that. Do I have to spell it out for you? He was the ultimate example of that great that great love. He showed that love comes through, you know, being there, spending time with others, sharing with knowledge and understanding of what you know to be important, to be kind to people who never had opportunity for someone to be kind to them, to be understanding, to be giving, to be thankful, to be hopeful, to have patience, to love, to believe and have faith. Believe and faith are the same thing. To have character. Character shows humility. Humility says that you are a great person of great will. Let me tell you what will is. Let me tell you what will is. Will is something that you do by following the right direction. You have to be willing to give up the things you love the most. And that's a hard thing for some people. Now, to give up what you love the most for someone, not someone, let me rephrase that, for the sake of following the one that created us, the one that made us, you have to give up the thing you love the most for the one that created you from a speck of dust. That is a lot of sacrifice. Some people are not able to do that type of sacrifice. That takes a real humble person to give up something they love, to follow, drop everything. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine giving up something you truly care about to follow God and His will? That is a very big commitment. Some people don't know that that's a responsibility bigger than me, bigger than you. That's called unconditional love. Giving up something you really truly care about just so you can follow the Father, the one that created us all from dust. I pause because I want you guys to know what I'm really trying to emphasize or enlighten you with, to give you, to let it sink in, because Words are very useful. When I said that you give up the thing you love the most, what that means is you got to give up something you really care about just to follow God. To follow God you have to be strong, a strong minded person to follow the Father that created us. There is a living, existing creator that created us out of nothing, which is dust, mud, sand. We can't even that. Can you just think about this? You got to give up what you care about just to do, the will of our Father who is in heaven. That is a big commitment, big responsibility, greater than anybody can imagine. Think about that. Then think about this. Now, I'm skipping over being a parent. Let's transition into how a man and a woman supposed to be as one. Now, here's something to change the subject. Now, let's say you've been dating for 2 years. Now, 2 years is considered in California legal binding marriage. Look it up. It's legally if you've been dating someone for 2 years, that's being married because you made a commitment to be dating that person for 2 years. Now, you may not believe that, but you can look it up in a law book, in a law dictionary. It will tell you legally you're binded by that person to be married to them. If you dated 2 years, you went with that person 2 years, you're considered to be married. Now, you may not believe that. Look up in the law book. It'll tell you. A law dictionary will tell you. It will tell you the same thing I'm telling you. Look up in the law book, any legal dictionary about marriage. Legally, if you've been dating someone for 2 years, you consider to be married because think about it. You've been dating this person for 2 years. That's what a relationship is like. It's it's a year by year commitment. It takes time. Now let me shed some light on finding a partner. There's something that is called the fruits of the Spirit. Now check this out. This is something I'm creating a revelation for you guys. I'm revealing something that a lot of you have no idea what the secret is to finding a loving, caring relationship. The way you find a loving, caring relationship, I just gave you one secret. Dating 2 years. That's one secret. Another secret. The most effective secret when it comes to finding someone who's just like you. This is a secret. Write down the things you want in another person. Write them down. It can be 30, it can be 10. Write down the things you want in a partner. Why? Because it will reveal who you are and identify who you want to be with this person. Now, that'll get rid of all of the baggage, everything that you thought you couldn't be with this person. Another thing, that's 2 secrets. 2 years dating someone, write down things that you want in a person. Now, another secret when it comes to finding someone who is in the same category as you. Another thing, please don't overshare too much on the first date or any type of dating. On the first date, don't overshare. Remember I told you that statement, less is more. The less you can share, but share things that are relating to only the topic. Don't overtalk. When you overshare, people will move away or they will distance themselves because they see that you are sharing things too soon. I've learned that. When you share things too soon and you reveal them too soon, they become an annoying, irritating thing to people. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is. You cannot overshare. If you overshare too soon, that will scare a person away or that will distance a person from you. I'm just being another thing. So I gave you 3 secrets already. Date for 2 years. What was the other one? It was another one that I said. Well, later on we'll go back into it. Another thing. Write down what you want in the next person, what type of person you want to be involved with. And I said something else, but it'll come back to me later. Anyway, let's listen to this. Another thing that is important when it comes to finding someone who you want to be in a relationship with or be married to. Another big step, or another step, put it like this. Another step. Oh, I said don't overshare. That's the secrets I was saying. Write things down. Don't overshare. And wait 2 years to date person for 2 years to get to know them. That's 3 secrets. Another one that a lot of people always say, this is the thing I always hear when it comes to finding a partner in a relationship, that you want to be open-minded. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. We know what that means already. When you think outside the box, that means you moving yourself out the way and you trying to be open to something different. It's like a portal. You open it up, something that it's something that's a given. You got to give in order to take. Don't take, then give. No. When you take from people, that means you're giving away something that's more powerful, which is yourself. You're giving your energy. You're giving your positivity. You're giving things away that makes you who you are. Don't do that. Stop yourself. If you catch yourself giving away, taking more than receiving, you're going to lose out on a bigger picture. People always say, man, I can't find the right person. It's because you've already taken from them what that you took away something much precious, which is that you took away their self-worth. You took that away. Don't take away that person's self-worth. If you do that, you will lose that person that you were interested in. That's an interesting fact to know. Your self-worth is more important than your putting yourself in the way of what that person's trying to tell you. That's a barrier that people have in communication. Self-worth. If you cannot sit there and find out more about that person than yourself, that means you're not growing, you're not developing, you're not understanding, you're not gaining knowledge of yourself, you're not having a sound mind, you're not being a solid person, you're not building character. These are traits that a lot of people do not understand why they cannot find a good relationship. And the reason why that is because you are doing too much of this and not enough of this. When this comes first, listening is a key ingredient in any relationship. When you know how to listen to a person and you understand what a person's going through, I guarantee your relationship will last a lifetime, because you are listening rather you are receiving rather than taking away that person's energy and positivity and growth. Those are three things that people look for in another person. They value. You're listening. Oh man, you're a very understanding person. That's what you want to hear. You're a very understanding person. Oh man, you get me. You get me. When you hear someone say, oh man, I could talk to you about for hours now. If that is what you're looking for in a relationship, then practice. That's another secret. Practice, practice, practice. Practice on yourself. Reevaluate what it is that you don't know and renew how you think. Renew what your mind is all about. Renew your mind. Get rid of those old thoughts, those old behaviors. Get rid of them. Sometimes I struggle with that because we're all human. We struggle with those old behaviors. Those are habits and those are hang-ups. Habits and hang-ups. Get rid of those habits and hang-ups. Eliminate those. Cut those off. Don't put those habits and hang-ups back on yourself, because what it's going to do is going to reflect in your new relationship. Don't dwell on the past. Dwell on what's inside you. Now, the evaluation. Reevaluate what you're doing now, what you didn't do before, what got you to that place you are now. Get rid of that fear. Fear will sabotage, will kill a relationship, will damage let me not say kill. It will damage a relationship. It will destroy your relationship. Remember that it will get rid of your relationship. Let me tell you guys something. When you are repeating what you did before in your first, second, third relationship, you are damaging your future relationship, because you're carrying what you did in those other ones to the relationship you have now. That is something you need to reevaluate. Don't say those nasty, toxic words. Get rid of those toxic thoughts. Be positive. Be open-minded. Be a good listener. Be a doer of your word. It says that in James, be a doer of the word. That means if you have something that you want to share that's positive, be an encourager, be a doer, be a giver, be someone that other people, be unusual, be encouraging, be wonderful, be magnificent, be amazing. Do something outside yourself. Take off that mask. Don't be a double-minded person. Don't be double-minded. Don't have one side says this and then have another side say that. Don't play mind games. Be as honest as you can. Honesty to me is very important. They all say honesty is the best policy. I don't like that. Don't look at that. That's a common everyday word. Be honest with yourself. In that way, you'll start to see the person you really are. Don't have two sides, left and right. You got two sides, left and the right. Your right hand will know what your left hand is doing. Don't do that. Look for a key thing. Look for something that's going to make you do what is right. Do what is knowledgeable. Do what gives you an idea of what type of relationship you're looking for. Once you find that, that's your secret. Don't give it to nobody else. Don't overshare or don't give away your secret of how you became successful, had a successful marriage or a successful relationship. Write that in a book, or if you want to be a motivational speaker, do that too. Motivate people. Be a coach. You can coach people. Life coaches are very good at knowing how to deal with everyday situations. Whatever it is that you want to do, be a counselor and an advisor to people. Teach people. There's a lot of different things that you can do to help someone feel better about their day. Make a person's day. Say something nice. Don't say nothing that people don't want to hear. Say something nice. Okay? Now that's my tips for a successful relationship and to be successful in your marriage. This is the final thought of the day, of the night. Remember, always, always, always find motivational quotes and something that motivates you. So that way, whoever you dealing with or whoever you want to be in a relationship with will see these motivational thoughts, and that will incorporate inside of you, and you will be the person that will share these thoughts. But your thoughts will change and transition into something that will make you develop into a better, more motivating, more encouraging, more positive, kinder, gentler person in everyday life. Thank you for your time. This is another segment of The Quiet Storm. I am your host, your gracious host, the one and only, your main man, Rashid Martin, and I will see you on the next Quiet Storm. See you then. You guys have a good night, and may God richly bless you. Good night.